When we talk about bark control, a lot of people give us a call and they don't know where to start, okay? And the biggest thing with bark control for me and what I tell our customers is it's best to have as many options as you can, because every dog is different, every situation is different, the environment is different, the reasons why they're barking is different. So one of the first things we sort of ask is, number one, what breed of dog that you have. Number two, how big is it? Number three, if you can identify what the barking issues are, so whether it be an anxiety bark, a protective bark, a nuisance barking, separation anxiety, or anything like that. So the more information that you've got, the better it is to match up a bark control system for your individual animal. So when we're looking at bark control, you know, we've got our citronella spray collars, we've got our vibration and static collars as well. So it's very difficult only because working out which type of barking that your dog is doing, right? And each individual dog has different needs and wants and all the rest of it. So just to give you a bit of an understanding, when it comes to bark control, we've got our citronella collar. Now, I spoke before about having as many options as we could, right? So with the citronella works great for a smaller dog, okay? Or dogs that react to, maybe you used a spray bottle when they were pups and they reacted to that spray, okay? So that works really well for those instances. Then the only problem with the citronella is that you've only got one option to control the barking. So if the citronella doesn't work, right, you don't have anywhere else to go. That's why I tend to like the static correction collars, because you do have options. You can set them to vibration only, okay? And if the vibration is enough to do the job for you in whatever the individual situation may be with your dog, that's fantastic. You stay on the vibration setting. But if it's not, then at least you've got an option to try something else, okay? So with the static correction is highly effective, all right? So, and the good thing about these collars is that they give a vibration warning before they give a static correction. So in this case here, the YS300 from Doctra, it has a fantastic microphone sensor. It can be set to vibration only, but then it also gives that vibration warning before the static correction. It's one of our best selling collars, and it's the one that we get the best feedback from. Then, depending on your situation, you may have a situation where you've got maybe multiple dogs in confined areas, like say for instance, for an example, maybe two working dogs that always bark on the back of a ute, for instance. So we need a different sensor to the microphone sensor. So the YS600 and the Garmin BarkLimiter Deluxe have a different sensor on them. They have a vibration sensor. So the two different sensors work in different ways. The microphone sensor on the YS300 works on the sound. The vibration sensors on the 600 and the BarkLimiter Deluxe works on the vibration from the actual vocal cords in the throat. So these work really good when you've got multiple dogs in confined areas. It means that if you've got two dogs, this dog barking is not going to set off this dog's collar. So an innocent dog is not going to get a correction for barking when he wasn't at fault. So the microphone sensor works great if you've got a single dog, okay? It also works fantastic on howling and whining and things like that. The vibration sensor works great when you've got multiple dogs in confined areas. The YS600 is for a larger dog, okay? It's a higher output unit than the YS300, right? The BarkLimiter Deluxe is an all-round collar, works fantastic for dogs over the 7 kilo mark, okay? All the way up to a larger dog. When it comes to fur, you've got to take into account the length of the fur, because you want to make good contact with the probes on the collars. So in general, the Doctra units have the ability to have longer probes that get through a longer coat. If you've got more of a shorter haired dog, you can also go into the Garmin unit, because the probes in general are smaller in the Garmin unit than in the Doctra units. So if you have any questions or thoughts, or you don't know where to go, feel free to give us a call at our office, okay? And we are there to help, because everyone's situation is different. So if you call, we can work out the appropriate collar for your individual needs.